Hey folks, we are looking at transformations, and specifically in this video we are going to look at reflections, which are a mirror image. So take out your MSR 10 sheet if you don't have that out already. And what we're going to do is we're going to start by looking at this right here. We're going to make two reflections. So the first reflection that we're going to do is we're going to reflect it over the x-axis. So we're going to do two different ones, but in this case we're going to reflect over the x-axis. All right, so when we reflect over the x-axis, the first thing you're going to want to do is identify which axis is the x-axis. So I know in this case that here is my x-axis. You might want to highlight that or bold it. And then when I do my reflection, I want to create a mirror image. So in this case, I've got my ABC. I'm going to name all of them, and I already know my coordinates from the last one, so I don't know that I need to record them again. But in this case, I'm actually going to just try to reflect it. So the way that we reflect is we can count the distance from our reflection point. So in this case, my x-axis for A is 2 away, and then I want to go 2 away in the other direction, and that is going to be my A prime. So in this case, my A prime is going to be 7 positive 2. It's kind of interesting. Our last time, I don't know if you guys remember when we did A was 7 negative 2, and now it's changed to be 7 positive 2. So let's see if we can do B. B is at 7 comma negative 5 right now. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. And here's my B prime. And that's at 7 comma 5. So it was at 7, negative 5. Now it's at 7 comma 5. Let's see if we can see if that same pattern continues with C. So here's C. It's at 1 comma negative 4. Which means I'm 4 away in this direction, and now I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 away in this direction. So here's my C prime. I'm going to connect these, and there we go. So that is at 1 comma 4. Okay, so when we reflected over the x-axis, you can see that the y coordinates actually all changed sign. Because even though the x, how many far you've gone out, even though that number has remained the same, because it's along that same x line, it has flipped, and now it's not in the negatives for y, but it's in the positives. So that's kind of interesting. So the y coordinate changed sign. But again, the figure is congruent, which I kind of think is really great. So now these are the same shape and same size, even though I've reflected it. Now I want to do the same kind of thing, but I want to look at the y-axis. So if I had to reflect over the y-axis, I'm just going to do maybe like one coordinate with you guys. I would do the exact same process. Let's say I was looking at A. If I reflected over the y-axis, then the only thing that would change would be the direction I'm moving 7. Now I'm going to move 7 in this direction, and there's my A prime there. And then you would do the same thing with B, and the same thing with C, which would be, what, 1 away here, and then there would be your new figure, B prime and C prime. So you can see a Y reflection as well. Just so you know, there are reflections across different lines. It's not always the X or Y axis. So you might see something in the future, not on this MSR, but just so you're aware, you might see something like, okay, reflected over the line y equals x, so you would graph a line, and then you would have to reflect it over a line. We're not going to do that today, but that is really interesting. So right now what I'd like you to do is go down to the reflection part down here and practice your reflection, and then check your answers on Schoology.